Angel Reese spoke to the media. She didn't speak to the media after the game against Caitlin Clark, but a member of the Chicago Sky, the national title winner at LSU. And she talked about where all this attention started with her and Caitlin Clark. And she had this to say.
It all started from the national championship game, and I've been dealing with this for 2 years now. And understanding, like, yeah, negative things have probably been said about me, but honestly, I'll take that because look where women's basketball is. People are talking about women's basketball, but you never would think that we'd be talking about women's basketball. People are pulling up to games. We got celebrities coming to games, sold out arenas, like, just because of one single game. And just looking at that, like, I'll take that role. I'll take the bad guy role, and I'll continue to take that on and be that for my teammates. And if I want to be that, and I know I'll go down in history, I'll look back in 20 years and be like, yeah, the reason why we watching women's basketball is not just because of one person. It's because of me, too, and I want y'all to realize that.
Okay. If she would have left it with what she had to say right before the last couple of words, I would have been fine with it. She's embraced the villain. She understands social media. She's done quite well. She is cashed in, literally cashed in. But her attention, her notoriety is based off Caitlin Clark. Because she wins the national title, first thing she does, she mocks Caitlin Clark. And then she doesn't even celebrate with her teammates. So she's made it personal with Caitlin Clark. Then she's played off of that. Even Caitlin Clark getting knocked down in that game on Saturday, who's standing up applauding but Angel Reese? So she's sort of embraced a Draymond Green role here. But the eyeballs on the WNBA really have to do with Caitlin Clark. Now, you might, if you stay long enough, maybe you'll see something or someone there you go, okay, I'm entertained by this. But there's nothing wrong with admitting that you watch a sport because of one singular person. People watched golf because of Tiger. Right? You tuned in. No matter what event Tiger was playing, you were going to watch. They're still trying to capitalize on him. Playing in the U.S. Open. NBC and Peacock, their graphic has Scottie Scheffler, Rory McIlroy, and then who's looming larger on the screen but Tiger. So they're still trying to squeeze everything they can out of Tiger. When Gretzky got to the L.A. Kings, Messi goes to the MLS. Maybe Connor McDavid with Edmonton. Like you're trying to, there's somebody you may tune in to watch, and then maybe if you watch, then maybe you appreciate what you're seeing. WNBA has been around a couple of decades, and people didn't notice the game. They're noticing it now. Well, that's because of Caitlin Clark, not Angel Reese. Angel Reese has played a role in this, and she's a very good player. But there's nothing about her game that's really interesting that is going to translate to people who may not watch the WNBA, may not care about basketball. She is a social media star, and she has capitalized on that. And maybe she embraces being the villain. But make no mistake about it, Caitlin Clark is the reason why everybody has an opinion on what happened in that game. It's Caitlin Clark. Now, do I think it was assault? As the Chicago Tribune said, no, it was not. It was a hard foul. It's wrong. You don't need it in the game. And there's a lot of things that came out of that. People bringing in race. Okay, you can bring in race. Do I think everybody's jealous of Caitlin Clark? I don't. But I do think they are out to prove a point. You're not coming in and dominating our game because we are grown women, and we are going to be physical with you. Now, dirty, then I have a problem with that. But you're playing tough. It's competition. And now everybody has to have an opinion, and now you have it feels like we ruined it. Like, okay, you wanted our attention. Now you got our attention. Now you're like, wait, hold on here. Let's not bring in all these other things here. How about can we just watch the game? Can we appreciate the game?
Welcome to life as a woman when men get involved.
Yes.
We got involved and ruined everything. It was going just fine.
Yes.
But now we jumped in, ruined it, and then we're just going to be like, you guys figure it out.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Yeah. And I don't like the other narrative, like you have the gatekeepers now, like, hey, we've been playing basketball a long time. Where were you? No, we're watching because of Caitlin Clark. I didn't watch the MLS. Messi started playing. I watched the MLS. People watching Tiger. Tiger, they didn't play golf, but there was Tiger. There was something about him. You have a singular figure here, but now you have everybody who has to have, there's a referendum here, an opinion. You think you know the game. You know what, how are they playing? Oh, they're rougher on her. What her teammates need to do is stand up for her. I would start with that. And the commissioner of the WNBA has got to take control of this to say there's hard fouls, but then there's going above and beyond the call of duty. That's where you got to be careful with this. And I don't care who it is. Angel Reese got fouled earlier this season in a game against the Connecticut Sun. That was a dirty play. And I don't know if anybody singled that out, but that was a potential injury waiting to happen when she fell, and the angle that she fell. But I didn't hear anybody there. No referendum on that. It was a hard foul, and it was a flagrant foul. But Caitlin Clark, I don't want her to get all the calls, but I also want her to be at least treated fairly if you're going to officiate a game. Now, she got all the calls, it felt like, in college. Here, she's not. And, she's doing her best to try to sell a foul. But if you're going to have hard fouls on her, that, I think, reflects poorly on the WNBA. Treat her fairly. And, as far as jealousy goes, I think it's just competition. Like, if you're out there, you want the best player, I want you. I want to shut you down. I don't care what it takes. I mean, this is their livelihood. But I think Angel Reese is jealous of Caitlin Clark. She thinks she's, the reason why this is all happening here. Caitlin Clark was going to get eyeballs whether she played against Angel Reese in LSU or not, because we had not seen anything like this before. Her style of play. There's great players in the game, wonderful players. I go back to Diana Taurasi. I love watching her play. She's still playing. What is she, 41? I think she just had 31 points the other night. I mean, Sue Bird played at a high level. So many great players. I mean, I go back to Cheryl, Cynthia Cooper, Tamika Catchings. I mean, there are so many great players. But maybe they didn't capture your imagination. Caitlin Clark has. People watched. Now everybody wants to have an opinion on this. And that's where it clutters, muddies up everything that the women have tried to do. They've been there. You just haven't noticed. Now you're noticing, and now you have an agenda. Now you have an opinion. And that's where no matter what you're saying or who's saying it or how you're saying it, everybody has a platform now. Yeah, Pauline.
It's interesting. The Angel Reese cut, I had heard it yesterday, and they only cut it to the last 8 seconds, 10 seconds. To hear it in context, though, she does have a lot of points about what the situation actually is. She is clearly not the draw and not the type of player that Clark is. She's a very good college player and a good WNBA player. But that incident in college at LSU, Iowa, took that sport and broke it out. And we spent the entire offseason talking about, can we get a rematch of these two? It set up the senior year for Clark. Now, she is not the star player in this play, Reese, but she has a big element in the past year and a half of basketball.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, she played the role of villain, but it was personal with her. I don't think it was personal with Caitlin Clark, but it was with Angel Reese. She was clearly bothered by Caitlin Clark and the attention. But people aren't tuning in to watch Angel Reese play basketball. Angel Reese against Caitlin Clark, then they'll watch that. I mean, I love having a rivalry. I said that yesterday. We don't have enough rivalries. Now, the WNBA has a right. When Chicago and Indiana play, you'll watch. Like, what are the rivalries in the NBA? Where you go, golly, they don't like each other. What is it?
Load management and the fans.
Yeah, that's the rivalry. There's no, the way it used to be with Philly and the Celtics, or Celtics and the Lakers, or the Knicks against the Celtics. I mean, what is your rivalry? There is none. And I do appreciate a good rivalry. Like baseball had the Red Sox and the Yankees, which wasn't really a rivalry because the Yankees always won until the Red Sox won. Now you have a rivalry. Like the Giants and the Dodgers, rivalry. But you don't have many of them. And I love to have that where you tune in because it just feels like it's more than just a game. There's tension there. These guys don't like each other. These women don't like each other. I'm fine with that. It's competition. Yeah, Pauline.
Do you think that Angel Reese is very calculated recently with what she's doing? And I'm complimenting her. She made a lot of money NIL-wise her last year at LSU. And it feels like she's embracing this role and leaning into it and even leading into any criticism of her comments because she knows it's going to pay her back because she can't make money on the floor in the WNBA. You have to make it off the floor.
Yeah. No, she's done well. She's capitalized. As long as you're willing to wear the black hat, you're going to be the villain. As long as you're willing to do that, then fine. It's like Draymond Green likes to be the bad guy until he gets criticized being the bad guy, and he's like, wait a minute here. No, you want to be the bad guy, then we're going to criticize you when you go above and beyond the call of duty. But Angel Reese, playing the social media game all the way to the bank.